Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Tripod's a little short to be doing it this way, that's weird. But we're going to be talking about my Jeep Cherokee, which has a 3-inch rough country lift kit. And I'm going to be telling you guys all about the lift kit and seeing if you guys think it's worth buying this lift kit. So, is spending $300 on your first lift kit on your Jeep Cherokee XJ even worth it? Or should you just save up and get something that's actually good and worth your money? Just stay tuned and I'll tell you guys everything you should know and want to know about my cheap lift kit on this thing. Since we're on uneven ground, it's going to be hard to demonstrate this, but this is the added leaf pack, which is the bare minimum, the cheapest lift that you can get from rough country for the 3-inch size. And if you can kind of tell here that the rear end sags a little bit, and that's because this thing has 200,000 miles and it sags a little bit because the leaf springs are wore out. So really, if you have a high mileage XJ, I would suggest just getting new leaf springs. It just makes it look a hell of a lot better at the end. And I'll show you guys what can happen if you don't get the new leaf springs. Now we're to the other side of this of the Jeep, and as you guys can see, it is missing its fender flare, and that is because since it sags so low, you can't really fit 31s too well. I mean, it fits it fine. But when you flex, your tires like to hit the rear end. And when they do that, here, I'll take the tripod closer here. If you look, as the tripod falls off, if you look right here, it's kind of bent and you can kind of see how it's rusting a little bit. Now to fix that, it's not too hard. You just get some vice grips and you just pull them babies out and boom, it's fixed. But you know, it's a hassle. The fender flares in the rear like to pop off. So I do recommend, if you have worn out leaf springs, just go ahead and just get the new leaf springs. Alright, so now that we're down here and low, I want to talk about the springs and kind of talk about ride quality, because that's what a lift kit should do, is make it ride better or make it at least function better, if you know what I mean. I had to take you guys off the tripod for this one, but the springs are thicker on the 3-inch lift kit. And the reason they do that is because the body sags less when there is weight on the vehicle. And that's actually how most 3-inch lift kits work. Maybe even some 4.5-inch lifts. The springs a lot of the time are actually roughly the same size as the factory springs. But every coil right here is just a little bit thicker and a little bit harder, so then it doesn't compress as much when there's weight on the body. So what that really means is really most lift kits will be rougher unless you get something like BDS or like a high quality kit. So it's gonna ride like a 1-ton truck, but there's benefits to it riding like a 1-ton truck. This thing actually handles great. So it's like, you know how when you have a sports car or a car you want to handle better, you get lowering springs or just a coilover setup that's a stiffer? Well, that's kind of how the same thing kind of happens with this lift kit. So going around corners, this thing actually handles really good, but don't take that as like it's now handles like a Ferrari. It still handles like a Jeep. I think it's more of the false sense of security, I think is what it's called. But also, that means that this thing doesn't really flex the easiest. Yeah, you can get this thing to flex, as I demonstrated on the side over here. Yeah, it's gonna ride a little bit rougher. It rides like crap. It doesn't flex as well as probably like BDS or shoot, even Zone. So take that in consideration. This thing can still flex. This demonstration, I bashed my rear quarter here going off-roading. So it just takes a lot more force to get it to actually shove that wheel up. So now the real question is though, how long does it last? Well, this lift kit has been great. So far it's lasted about 50 to 60,000 miles, almost 2 years now. And honestly, I have no complaints. It's been working good. There's issues with the powder coating. So if you want it to look pretty after a certain amount of time, it won't. It's just not the best powder coating. But for the Jeep Cherokee XJ, I will recommend a lift kit, especially if you're a broke high school student like I was when I bought this lift kit. So if you like it, go and get it. If your Jeep has a lot of miles on it, don't get the out of leaf, get the full leaf springs. Treat your Jeep nice, because she'll treat you nice. That's all I really have to say on the lift kit. It's a short, sweet video, but hopefully guys helped you make your decision if you want the lift kit for your Jeep. And yeah, if you want to get it, I totally recommend it. But just remember, it has its cons. It's still a cheapy lift. So price shop, kind of do your other research too, and hopefully you guys decide which one you want and do what you want. That's all I gotta say. Thanks you guys for watching, and if you guys want to support me, please do comments, likes, subscribe. My Instagram and my eBay store are down in the description, so if you want to support me there, go ahead, but there's no reason you have to. So hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.